To be benevolent rather than malevolent is probably a true feature of our species. Being about to feel safe with other people is probably the most single important aspect of mental health. Safe connections are a fundamental thing to meaningful and satisfying lives. Numerous studies of natural response around the globe have shown that social support is the most powerful protection against becoming overwhelmed by stress and trauma. People who end up in total isolation because of their careers often pass away prematurely of coronary disease, which is a heart condition. There are, however, far more subtle loneliness traps in our society. Not every lonely person is trapped by interests in a career, pursuit of independence, or by a love-seeking system. Many lonely people are not particularly hung up about these issues. Several readily admit that they would give up anything if they could only find the right person with whom they could share their lives, and yet they still find themselves enmeshed in isolation. Part of the problem is that a lot of people have very few formal institutions that deal specifically with problems of human loneliness. This is particularly glaring weakness when one considers that there are formal institutions for practically every other human problem. Hospitals care for the sick, schools teach the uneducated, PTA groups help schools, and so forth. One closer examination, however, it becomes apparent that a great majority of these organizations have a major covert prerequisite. The person must either already have companionship or declare himself sick. These covert requirements that make it difficult for those lacking companionship to find legitimate social outlets in existing groups. Social support is not the same as merely being present with others. The critical issue is treating people how you want to be treated. Being truly heard and seen by people around us, feeling that we are held in someone else's mind and heart. For our psychology to calm down, for our physiology to heal, and as we grow and require a visceral feeling of safety. No doctor can write a prescription for friendship and love. These are complex, hard-earned capacities. You do not require a history of trauma to feel self-conscious and even panicked at a party with a stranger, but trauma can turn the whole world into a gathering of unlawful aliens. Many traumatized people find themselves chronically out of sync with the people around them. Some find comfort in groups where they can replay their combat experiences, assault, torture, and other types of experiences with other people who have similar backgrounds and experiences. I guess he's making a point. Focusing on shared history of trauma and victimization alleviates their searing sense of isolation, but usually at the price of having to deny their individual differences. Members can belong only if they conform to one code. Isolating oneself into a narrowly defined victim group promotes a view of others as irrelevant at best and dangerous at worst, which eventually only leads to future alienation. Gangs, extremist political parties, dishonest city councils, and religious cults may provide solace, but rarely do they foster the mental flexibility required to be fully open to what life has to offer, and as such cannot liberate their members from their traumas. Well-functioning people are able to accept individual differences and acknowledge the humanity of others. In the past 2 decades, it has become widely recognized that when adults or children are too skittish to shut down to complicated companionship while providing necessary sense of safety, birds, dogs, and horses are now extensively used to treat some groups of trauma patients. Also, remember to thank God, Jehovah, for your life and everyone in it, because from the beginning, God, Jehovah, chose you to be saved through the sanctifying work of the Spirit and through the belief in the truth. Amen.